All right, welcome to the Furlough Podcast. We're back. We've been out of pockets for a little bit. The reason why is we've been doing some things in the studio, and we're still working. As you see, we're going to video, and what I'd like to do is give thanks to All American Ford and Aniana, John Makovica, as All American Ford, Jeep, Chrysler, and Dodge. They have partnered with us. They are our first official sponsors, and we're grateful to them. It's going to help us move forward. We're going to bring better content. We're going to make some changes to the studio, just bring some other things. We'll even working on doing a few remotes. Maybe we can do some remotes from Ghost Train or anywhere else that we'd like to pick up.
Or maybe even a previous guest that we've had on.
Absolutely. You never know. We might, if anybody that's been paying attention to our shows, we've reached out and made friends with some people in various states, and maybe we can bring the show on the road a little bit.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. So what I wanted to talk about right out of the gate is there's this girl in Georgia, and unfortunately she had an accident, and everybody's pulling for her, and what we want to do is we're going to send some stuff out on Instagram and other social media. If you pay attention so that you can keep up. And, she had a bad motorcycle accident with a friend. Somebody turned in front of them. It was just real unfortunate. It's one of those things you can't control, and it just happens. I don't think they were going fast or anything. It was just bad timing on multiple people's parts. But I want to talk about this girl in the sense that she works in the veterinary community, and she has a pet possum. And you know me about pets anyway. I like pets that belong to other people. They're not my own. But Amber had hit me up and ooh and ah and showed me the pictures, and how the videos of how awesome it is, and that we should get this pet possum. And I'm thinking, we already have too much issues already. So I was thinking, but of course, anything is cute, I guess, when it's domesticated, raised from next to nothing, and it has no wild in it, if you will. But
also when it's smaller stages, it's always cute.
Oh, it's always cute.
Yeah.
But this one I think has gotten he's getting a little body to him, And what made me laugh is I thought about you. You had a house previously down in Southside, and I tried to tell Amber the story, but I really don't think I did it justice. So I wanted you to tell them little interaction you had with the possum family.
Well, so I worked at Mercedes many years ago, and so this house was a one-story house, but it had a basement downstairs. And it was an older home, and I'm going to be honest with you, that basement was creepy. It was super creepy down there. But that's where our laundry was, and as a typical single guy, I would always go down the stairs in the morning, pull my shirts and pants fresh out of the dryer,
right,
and then go to work. So as I'm walking down the stairs, about 2/3 of the way down in the rafters, there is it's a full-blown possum, like the size of a cat or bigger possum. And we lock eyes, and that thing hissed at me, like right at face level. And I remember its teeth looked like little needles.
Right.
And it was frightening, to say the least. So we were at this impasse because I had to get dressed for work, and it was doing whatever the hell possum do, And that was the only time I was ever late for work. And so my resolution was I couldn't miss work because they're very strict on attendance policy.
Right.
So I ended up wearing the previous day's clothes because I couldn't get down the damn stairs.
What did you think, it was going to dive at you or something?
Shit, I didn't know. But the damn thing was aggressive. Not physically. It was just intimidating,
Right.
And I didn't know what its intent was.
Or capabilities.
Right. I didn't know if the damn thing could fly, run, what it could do. but it was very nerve-wracking, at 4 a.m. to come eyeball to eyeball with that thing. So, needless to say, I go to work, I come back, it's still there. Like it hadn't moved all day.
Mm.
So I call an animal control guy, and he fished it out. But it was just very,
Were you there?
yeah.
Was he having a hard time wrangling that thing up?
No, I mean, they act like they do that all the time. He took one of those nooses, got it around its neck. It's a noose on the end of a pole.
Yeah.
Got it around its neck, and it was flopping around on the pole.
Yeah.
And he just drug it out, threw it in a box in a truck, and it hauled ass. And I was like, well, Jesus, I could have done that.
But you didn't have a pole with a noose on, right?
No, I don't do it for a living.
Right.
But it was just, they're very intimidating because it looked like it was, parts of it had hair, parts of it didn't have hair.
Right.
It had a very hard life, I'll tell you.
Probably fighting dogs in the neighborhood,
Shit,
whatever else.
man. Probably eight, cats. I was worried about my cat.
Yeah.
I don't know what the damn thing ate. But I will say that we lived next door to a small convenience store, and you would see full-grown, look like small dog-type possums running from the dumpster, to the woods.
Yeah, it was a buffet.
Oh my Lord, dude! Yeah.
Right.
So, but to think about having one in your home as a pet that sleeps in your bed,
Yeah.
is super creepy, to say the least.
Imagine a single guy. You got you a possum, and bringing a girl home for that
Hell.
first time. Excuse me while I move my possum over here. But the thing about it
It
is,
just hangs from the ceiling fan over the bed.
Swinging. Well, for a girl, most girls, they like animals. They probably dig it. But okay, reverse that role. So you single guy you're dating, or you're going out and you meet this chick and you go to her house, the first time, and she hasn't mentioned the possum, and all of a sudden you see a fucking possum.
Well, and that's the thing, For guys, when they're horny, they have a very low bar. They can tolerate a lot of shit.
Just put that thing away.
Right. Or he can sit on the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, once the deed is done, then we come back to reality. We snap back, and it's no more.
Yeah.
But I've dated women with every animal you'd see on Noah's Ark. I've dated them, and they've had them. Everything and anything.
What is it with girls and the need to have all these animals?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
Yeah, I've asked the question many times to many women, and I really get the same answer that you just gave me. Don't know.
Yeah.
And
But then again, I'm a guy with 2 dogs and a cat,
Yeah.
But they're all well groomed.
No, I'm talking about girls like wanting ferrets, wanting snakes. They want possums. They want this and they want that, and I'm just like, I just don't get it.
I was at a brewery just 4 days ago, 5 days ago. I think it was the day you called me when I was sitting in the parking lot. I was
Okay.
about to go in, and there was a girl in there with a baby goat. For Christ's sakes! So I was like, Jesus, lady. So it's everything.
Did you see the video that went around on social media about the guy that tested that any animals welcome at Petco as long as they're on a leash? He took a full big ass bull, a steer, with the huge long horns like you can see on the front of the Cadillacs. Just a big, I don't know what, I'm not a steer guy as far as
Just a longhorn.
Dude, it was all it could do to get through the double doors.
Holy
and it was ginormous.
And they let him in.
Yeah, you hear a woman in the background, are you fucking kidding me? And he's smiling, and I'm talking about he was going to test their thing. They did it for fun, to get on social media like the rest of us, whatever. And but no, dude, he was walking this thing across the parking lot, and it looked like if he decided he was going to have a bad day, it would frequently have it.
Oh yeah. No, well, my brother's got 3 of them.
Oh, does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the thought of even getting near them because they swing their head and unintentionally, they can just
destroy. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, what's funny is this thing was more calm than your dog.
Huh.
He strutted on in that Petco like it was nothing, and I was like,
well, I'll tell you this to kind of test that same theory. The breweries here in Birmingham are pretty relaxed on the animals that they allow in because they don't serve food. And I won't say which one, but I was in one a couple of years ago, and a guy rode in on a horse. That's
no shit.
Honest to God, true story. If I wasn't there, I wouldn't have believed it. But he rode in on a damn horse.
As a brewery owner, that would be pushing my limits because I'd be like, if he decides to drop,
Yeah.
Who's cleaning this
Yeah.
up?
And I don't mean front porch. I mean to the bar, all the way up to the bar on a horse. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty impressive, I
So,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't get it. Women, I dated a girl that had a baby monkey. Yeah,
No shit.
had a monkey, wore a diaper all the time. She changed his diaper like a baby's diaper. Yeah.
That's-
A pet pig.
Yeah. There's this girl, and she went to, I don't know if I've ever told this story or not, but her family lived over in Tuscaloosa, and her dad was actually a psychiatrist. And we go over and never met her family before. So we come, pulling up at the house, and they live in a nice little neighborhood, it's around a little lake, a little small lake. And so we pull up, and dog, they got like 5 or 6 labs running around, this and that. So we start to go up to walk into the house, and we're coming in the side door. Well, we get up there, and I'm like, there's no door. So during the summertime, they take their doors off of the house,
Just to ventilate.
I guess. And the guy does a practice in there, but his practice is downstairs. Upstairs, it looks like they've been doing construction for about 10 years
Mhm.
and gave up. And they take the doors off during spring and summertime, completely off the hinges, gone. And the dog's running in and out like it's nothing. Okay? Well, we're sitting there, and there's a card table over on right in the corner of the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
What is a demolished kitchen, and it's got like a big drape over it, like a sheet or whatever. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden that damn card table starts moving like a damn ghost, like on a cheesy ghost movie. The damn table starts kind of sliding
Right.
around, and I'm kind of, of course, I was kind of like, what the hell's going on with that? And all of a sudden, this pot-bellied pig comes out from underneath it.
Huh.
And it was ginormous. Its back was touching the bottom of the table, and that's why it was moving, because he was turning around in there. That's why it was moving around.
And she was okay with that.
Oh, dude, it was like it was nothing. It come bouncing out, and apparently it runs around with the dogs. It does all this stuff, and it was supposed to be a miniature pot-bellied pig. It's supposed to be pretty small, and I guess they got taken for a ride because this thing was ginormous. And what was funny, and I'm like telling her, I'm looking at her like, this is kind of weird. But the pig ended up liking me a lot. And I have this weird thing with pets or with animals. I think because I don't pay them any attention and I don't give 2 fucks about them, I stay out of their business. They come over and check me out like, well, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Everybody else is petting me. Well, why you got a stick in your ass?
yeah, basically. So this fucking pig comes over, and it's got this head, man. This head's just ginormous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm petting it, and it's got real weird hair and all. It's real coarse and stuff like that. But that fucking pig loved me. But to take a couple steps back before the pig came out of the thing, so we go into her house, and we're sitting there, and she calls for her dad and mom, don't hear nothing, and all of a sudden we hear her dad, right? And here he comes down the hallway. He rounds the corner, butt naked. Like it was, I'm talking about not a thought of clothes on. And he
Looking for that pig to get it back into the bedroom.
I guess so. So he rounds the corner and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he turns to start to walk away. And he takes about a half a step and then he turns back around and he goes, "I forgot, this is my house." And he sticks his hand out to shake my hand. So her dad, the first time I met her dad, I shook his hand, he was butt naked.
God damn. Dude turns around and he's knocking coffee cups over with his freaking big.
But what messed me up is I was thinking, he come to greet his daughter that way.
Yeah.
His grown, I guess she was 22-ish, 3-ish, whatever, maybe no more than 25.
Mm.
But that's how he was coming to greet his daughter.
And she.
Oh, like it was nothing, dude. Like it was nothing. And then after I talked to him for a second, he goes, "Well, let me go put some clothes on, and I'll be back." And I'm just.
You should have said, "Well, I tell you what, I'll meet you in the middle. How about I just take mine off, and everybody will be comfortable here." Shit. So I'll tell you, and I wasn't even planning on telling this story. So years ago, I worked for my brother in construction, right?
Right.
So he'd always have these little side jobs all over the place while he was working, before he had his own business. So he goes, Dave, here's what I want you to do. He goes, things are calm. Here's the keys to the dump truck. Run to this address and go pick up some sod. And it was on the other side of Alabama, almost Georgia. And this was before GPS. So I'm running. And all I had was a walkie-talkie before cell phones. I had a walkie-talkie, so obviously I'm out of range.
Right.
Way on the other
I
side.
was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, and I got a paper map, for Christ's sakes. So I go down there, and I get lost. So there's a house in the middle of nowhere. So I park this dump truck, knock on the door, and it's this large black guy answers the door, and he's in a pair of whitey tighties. A big gut. You can tell he's been drinking. And I go, hey man, listen. And I knew it's a no-win situation with this particular brother. You know, he's gonna be pissed off. I didn't do it fast enough. I didn't do it good enough. So I go, hey man, listen. I'm in a little bit of a pinch. I'm looking for this address. Do you know where it is? And he'd been drinking. He'd been smoking weed. And he goes, hey, yeah, come on in. We'll figure it out. So he goes in, plops down in a lounge chair, and with whitey tighties on, and
so he looks naked at this point.
Well, pretty much. But what the bizarre thing of the whole thing is, he had about 8 to 10, like 20, 22, 25-year-old white girls walking around in bra and panties, good-looking girls, just milling around, drinking, smoking weed, and just kind of hanging out. And he goes, he takes a hit of a big old fatty, and he goes, here, you want some? And I go, no, dude, I'm kind of on the clock. I'm just trying to pick up some sod. And it was just a big joke to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the most bizarre house ever. And it was wild. And they would just walk around. They'd sit down, hang out, talk, sit on his lap, laugh, joke. And I was like, what? And it was a small, shitty house.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was very weird.
Did you tell me you had too much to do, but you'd come back later?
Well, let me tell you something. I have racked my brains. I mean, short of going to some psychotherapy to try to pull that address back, and I can't find it. I cannot find it. But that was 25 years ago, and I would love to know whatever came of that place.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was so out of the Twilight Zone. It was incredible. But anyways, I wanted to say one more thing, talking about dogs and pigs and all that. So when I was in Mexico, I was down there and I got this foot fungus, and so I had to go to the hospital, and it was bad. I could barely walk. So I was way down by the border of Guatemala. Just, you talking about pigs reminded me of this. So this hospital wasn't very large, but they had like garage doors on the front side and garage doors on the back side, and they were both rolled up. And so any and everything as far as wildlife just come Peru, goats, dogs, everything just come milling right
through.
Oh yeah. And I turned to the guys I was with. I go, hey man, is this okay? And they go, yeah, it's just totally. And I was just blown away, because you think about infection or whatever.
Well, it's like a movie, when they try to. It seems like they're overselling it, that you're in a third world country or out in the middle of nowhere, or whatever.
I can tell you it's not oversold, dude. This shit goes on. It's almost like they plop this hospital down in the middle of a trail that animals use, and they just kept boom.
They made sure there was a path.
Blasted. Yes, it was truly wild, super wild. And I'll tell you something else they don't oversell. If you've ever seen Romance in the Stone.
Oh, I love that movie.
So they have this scene on there with like a chicken bus.
Yeah.
So listen, I've ridden that, and it is, we're going through the Black Forest down in southern Mexico, and so the thought was, get on the bus at night, sleep, when you wake up, you'll be at your destination on the other side of this rainforest.
Right.
So I wake up as the sun is rising, and we're on the side of this mountain, and there was a mudslide. And so the driver had been shoveling mud all night, and there's no guardrails, no nothing. So on the side of a mountain, one bus facing this way, another bus facing this way, and everything in the middle is just mud.
Yeah, just kind of covered it up.
Right. So he gets to the point where he goes, I've had enough. I'm not shoveling no more. Everybody had gotten off the bus. He goes, get back on. We're going. And it is turkeys, chickens, babies, iguanas, you name it, is on this bus. And I'm sitting on there, and he backs up and guns it, and is fishtailing through this mud. And everybody's screaming, turkeys flopping, chickens screaming, babies crying, women doing the cross. And then I was like, Jesus Christ. And we blow through and somehow survive it. I'm telling you, I truly believed I was going to die down in a fiery pit at the bottom of that mountain. And somehow we made it, but I'm telling you, those kind of buses and those, they exist. And I have sadly ridden on them multiple times. I mean, it was scarring. So I get to the other end, so I get all the way down there, and a guy was supposed to meet me at the other end, and he goes, you don't look good. He goes, you look green. I go, no shit, I look green. I said, you should have seen the bus ride I just had. What should have been a 6-hour ride was a 14-hour bus ride.
Wow.
I mean, it was unreal. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But anyways, that was...
with that being said, I need to do a shot. I just felt like I was...
All right, my man. Hit your buddy up. Sorry, just certain things people say in life, and they trigger, and you get to thinking, and you think about, the adventures in life that you've been through, and I know I've done.
You've had your adventures.
Sure, I've done some things that. Salud to mi hermano. That's a good smell. I gotta always smell my whiskey before I hit it. Let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect you to break that out. Just by chance, I wore a whiskey shirt today. I wasn't even thinking about it. But as far as whiskey goes...
That's whiskey right there.
That is whiskey. And that's good. That is actually pretty good. So what is this? Texas single malt whiskey?
Yeah, it's...
I like that.
Yep. I'll probably mess the name up. See if you can pronounce it.
Balcones?
Balcones? That's what I thought it was.
Yeah. So let me tell you something. You got yourself a good one when you're not mixing it, right?
Right.
And that is not a mixing whiskey.
No, that's man's whiskey right there.
Yeah.
And we didn't even chase it. Two men.
Oh, no. Listen, what my grandfather made in this tub, that's mixing whiskey. This right here is sipping whiskey.
Let's see what this is. We got Classic Edition. So the original Texas whiskey. Balcones. Texas single malt.
And I didn't even know that there was really a special blend for Texas whiskey, but that's up right there.
Well, apparently this was done on 7/19/18, so it's not too old.
No.
But you want to age for sure. But that was pretty good.
Well,
didn't have a bad burn after it. I mean, it hits you pretty strong, but it goes away.
No, man. You kidding me? If you've got a pear in your pants, you can do that. No big deal. Shit.
I like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this from somebody, and actually, matter of fact, a guy from John, and so he told me to check this out, and he knows some people that deal with that, and maybe we can get some. I think they had multiple flavors, but maybe we can touch on that down the road. Maybe we can get a fresh bottle.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
I'd love to try. I'd love to try every flavor they've got.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you, I'm a whiskey-loving guy.
Whiskey-loving, but they don't sell it here in Alabama, so we'll have to hustle them up, figure out what's going on, and get some extra bottles coming in somehow.
Yeah, for sure.
But speaking of wild animals, did you see in Texas? Did you see the thing on the news where a guy had to call and get like 40-something rattlesnakes pulled out from under his house?
No, I did not see that.
40, they had bedded down under his house. Something happened with his cable, and he just had like a 3-foot crawl space under the house. So he gets ready to go down, see what's going on. 40-something. I hope I'm not messing that up.
So he's down crawling like this?
No, he opens the damn hatch door, bam, rattlesnakes for days.
Really?
And had to call somebody, like you had to call your your guys.
Hey, let me tell you something. That cat would much rather do a one possum than 47 rattlesnakes that you crawling into.
Dude, they were showing the video, and it was unreal.
Let me tell you something. There's some situations when
You gotta burn the house.
That's what I was gonna say.
You just got to burn the house down, because I'm gonna tell you what, I can't sleep in there. I can't.
40 rattlesnakes or one spider. You got to burn the house down. That's pretty much it.
And it's not that I'm scared of snakes, and make this clear.
It's my wife is scared of snakes, so for her behalf.
No, it's when you start talking about that number.
Yeah.
If I see a snake, you kill a snake, okay, go on. Never would I be clear in my mind to look down there and see a den of snakes and going, I wonder if old boy got them all, or if he just got tired of pulling them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how can you account for them? You know what I'm saying?
So listen, so me and that girl that I was engaged to, I told you about that I renovated
Yeah, you had a cabin.
a cabin in the woods. It was a hunting cabin. And so there's one bathroom in this cabin, and so she lived in it, left for a couple of years. It kind of went downhill. I went in, refurbished it, whatever. So go back. So me, her, and her daughter are in there for 3 or 4 days, and there's a shelf. When you sit on the toilet, the shelf's about this high, and that's where we put extra toilet paper or whatever. Yeah. So we're all reaching in it, and there's like a wicker basket up there. Dude.
Oh, shit.
Listen, I reached up there. We've all reached up there because we would just toss toilet paper up there. I reached up there one day, and there was no toilet paper up there. You know, right. You get that little square, and you're done.
Yeah, yeah.
I reached up there, and I grabbed a handful of snake.
No, you didn't.
Shit you not.
Oh.
Yeah. And I mean, you talk about having a heart attack. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
It was coiled up in the basket.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind, do you know?
Oh, it was just like one of those...
Garden snake, green snake.
Corn snake?
Corn snake, yeah.
But that thing was easily 5.5 feet long. Yeah. I mean, it was
But when you touched it, you didn't give a fuck what it was.
Yeah, when you're up and over and getting a handful of snake, you're like, shit. So
it took you probably an hour to get wiped up, right? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you, I completely emptied. Thank God I was sitting on the toilet, because I completely emptied out right there. That was freaky. Because, I mean, you visualize a king cobra, whatever, you know, the worst case scenario.
For me, it'd just be a rattlesnake. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I mean,
anything.
You're done.
Yeah, yeah. And that
you
was
can't
wild.
get to the fucking hospital fast enough at that point.
Not where we live. Jesus Christ alive, dude.
I mean, I'm calling. I'm like, 911, you tell them to be ready, because I'm power sliding in this bitch.
Yeah. We called the cops one day. We were so far in the woods that this dude, some old hillbilly. Now listen, I may not seem like a country guy, but I'm an Alabama guy, and I love Alabama and I love the country. But this dude really loved the country, let me tell you. And he brought his sidekick, and I mean and you know that girl I was engaged to. It was half shirt, no bra, titties out.
Nipples 3 inches out.
What you talking about? I'm going to tell you, I couldn't get the cops to keep from patrolling my house. They stayed. And shit, we had a half-mile long driveway. I mean, they
would always tell me.
Oh, they were all up and around there. It was unreal.
They were like, there's no way she don't sunbathe nude.
Man, I'm telling you, it was crazy.
Well, at least you know nobody was breaking into your shit.
No. What the problem wasn't the cops. It was all the other guys that was coming over.
Oh, yeah.
So
that was a whole other story to get going.
Yeah.
But no, it was.
But anyways,
fucking snakes, man. But I thought of that one too when we were talking about just crazy animals or whatnot. But damn, fucking 40-something rattlesnakes, dude. It's over.
Yeah.
We got to move.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was about like we were talking to Miranda. I said if when she was in here, and I said, "Will these damn things go off?" Or if a ghost start coming, we'll have to burn it to the ground. I'm sorry.
Well, and I'm sure that she's ran across her share of snakes. Just doing what she does.
Oh yeah. I can only imagine some places, but But I would like to get. Speaking of her, I'd like to get. I'd like to work out a thing and go on some more go on some investigation. Whether we haven't been, I couldn't say more because I haven't been on any. But I'd love to on some of her stuff, and we can get her down here local. I know a lot of people enjoyed doing her show. She's still #1, by the way.
Excellent.
So I have to let her know that she's still #1 downloads. I almost want the Sasquatch guy in here though.
Let me see if I can reach out to him and see if we can't get him.
Because we're talking about wild animals. I mean, if he's playing fucking catch with a goddamn Sasquatch, I want to.
Yeah. But I will say this. So I did reach out to Miranda, and she's very interested in coming down. And I mentioned because, I have some vacations coming up and things. So in the very near future, she talked about planning a trip down. And like I said, I think on our last podcast, I don't want to say where, but there's a place in North Alabama that she wants to check out.
Okay.
That has the name is uncomfortable.
Wow.
Yeah. And, but she wants to go there, and she wants both of us to go and be a part of it.
Well, absolutely. Now we have a camera.
Yeah.
You guys can see. We're gonna. I'm bringing my own flashlight, and I'm bringing the camera, and the flashlight may get sacrificed, but I won't sacrifice the camera. Camera's way too much. I mean, but if the flashlight goes off, the flashlight may get left.
Well, and I'll tell you may want to bring your own vehicle, because if you're not in the passenger seat when mine starts up, you'll be left there alone.
Be trucking it down the street.
Yeah, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And she's actually done a lot of big things. If you haven't been following her on Facebook or Instagram,
oh yeah, I have. She's been
absolutely killing
working it. Yeah, working it. But I don't know if she said. I can't remember if she said she's done or still in the middle of filming season 2. Do you remember?
I'm not sure. I want to say that they're still filming.
Right.
But I think she said it was going to be out in October. Okay. So just in time for Halloween.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, we're not going to run this one long. We got a lot of stuff going on. And what I do want to hit back up on is follow our social medias, subscribe. This is a big deal for us. We're going to try to blast our YouTube out. We're going to get better at doing this video. And the reason why I need you to follow our Instagram account, our Facebook account, all our social media accounts is because, for example, this young girl that had the issue in Georgia, we want to make sure that we push that out there. They've got some GoFundMe stuff going on. I know that she's got insurance and different things like that, but insurance doesn't cover that kind of the extra stuff, things at home. They cover the hospital stuff. So it's a great cause. We've all wasted money on countless things. We can give $2 to $5 on a thing. I mean, right. And if everybody that listens and everybody pays attention goes to it, we're gonna send the links on our social media accounts. It's just a good thing to do. And
listen. So here's the way I see it: is if you haven't done a good deed for the day, you can let this be that.
Absolutely.
And I think we should all try to do one good thing that makes us feel good for the day. So if you haven't done anything, or even if you have, $5 is a very small sacrifice.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can go through $5, not even blinking good, going through a convenience store.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, I'm not even going to address my drinking habit at the breweries. But yeah, likewise.
But definitely, everybody pay attention. And again, we need to. Great shout out to John Makovica and all the guys and girls down at All American Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge. They're in Aniana, Alabama. If you get a chance, if you are in the market for a vehicle, this guy, he's going to give us some promo codes. We're going to do some different things in the future, and some of the things he was talking about, I'm not kidding you. It's going to be tough not to deal with him. He wants to make long term clients from people, and some of the things that he was talking about doing to solidify a long term friendship with everybody sounded pretty incredible, and so you definitely want to check those guys out. All American Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, in Aniana, Alabama. John Makovica. Great guy, great people, and you need to check them out.
So listen, I'll tell you, I was, before the show started today, I may have been at a brewery. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So I was sitting there, and I met a couple that they were from out of town, and they had walked to that brewery from. They were staying at a hotel downtown. They're here for a show tonight, and it is miles from where they were to the brewery.
Wow.
Now listen, had they have befriended John Makovica and got in the car,
There you go.
boom, no more walking, baby.
No more walking, that's right.
His girlfriend complained the entire time, he told me, because it's a good 2.5 mile walk. Friends with John, boom,
Boom.
got yourself a car.
There you go.
No more walking.
Car, truck, whatever you're into.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate everybody. Stay tuned. Like everything else, we're just going to get better and better and better.